Hello everyone, this is Carrie at Quarter Mile Farms. Today I have been out foraging some herbs and plants of the field to take to a natural remedies class that I am participating in. Tonight is the last night and we have been talking about herbs and their healing properties, and I offered to bring in a bunch of the herbs that I have around the property here. So I was out so far. I've been gathering alfalfa, and while this one isn't necessarily a healing one, it does have lots of nutrients, so I'm going to take a bunch of these in to share. I've also been gathering some mullein leaves and some narrow plantain. I have other herbs I'll be gathering too, but I was wandering around this area where I had planted garlic before, and I think I made a video a while ago, a couple years ago, about planting garlic in this area. And so I was here cutting down some of the alfalfa, and I noticed these long spindly leaves. And I found a bunch of shallots. I can't remember the name of these. Something like, I don't know, something gray shallots or something like that. And there's some chickweed mixed in here. Anyway, there's just this huge clump of shallots. And then I looked over and I found another clump. And another clump. And as I was looking around, I'm actually finding at least 2 more clumps here. So I'm going to pull these up out of this area, because this is an area where my husband will be mowing and or tilling for garden use. I think for now we're just keeping it mowed down. So I wanted to pull these up, and I'll transplant some in my permaculture garden area, my food forest. So anyway, I thought you might find it interesting that after 2 years I still have shallots, and actually over here I still see some garlic here as well. So anyway, let me show you these growing in the ground here. Yeah, so you can see here, you know, there's regular grass, and then I saw these long spindly onion looking stalks. It was a pleasant surprise, let me tell you. So I'm gonna pull out this under bundle, see if there's any more in the area as well. Okay, I might want both hands for this. Let me put you back up. There's some really small ones out here on the outside. Try to get those too. All right. The other ones were fairly easy to just kind of tug a bit and get the whole root system out. This one is proving a little more difficult. Well, I got some out, but the tops came off and left the bulbs in the ground. That's not very helpful now, is it? Okay, well, I think what I'll do is I will leave these be, and they will continue growing, and then maybe another time I can come back in and pick them out again, or pull them out. So I do have these other bulbs though. These came up so nicely. No problems with these. So we'll go plant these in the food forest area and have some shallots growing in there. That'll be neat. Thought I'd walk a little more this way. We've got a lot of alfalfa growing here, but I would have had shallots like all the way down here. So I don't know if there'll be any more or not. Worth a look. But I'm not seeing any. All right. Over here though, we have this area tilled up. We're gonna plant some strawberries and raspberries in there. But here are 2 garlics growing. I would like to save them, but my husband's gonna be mowing in this area. He's gonna roll his eyes if I put up tomato cages over these for him to avoid, just so I can have these 2 garlic to harvest in fall time. So I'll try it. He'll do it, but he'll roll his eyes. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna go plant those shallots, and then I'm going to continue harvesting, foraging for some herbs from the field. So let's go do that. Look what I just found. Another bunch of shallots. Let's give this another try, shall we? These are a bunch of smaller ones. Try to loosen up the soil a little bit beforehand. Ooh, I just saw some more. We're gonna have a whole bunch of shallots, you guys. There we go. That's how it's done. Look at that. And then I just looked over this way. We've got one here and another bunch right there. Oh, and a smaller bunch right there. And, oh, they're all over the place now. Another bunch right there. I would just leave them here, but like I said, my husband's going to be mowing here, and I'd rather just get these moved to an area where they won't be mown down all the time. So let's get these other ones out of the ground. Half and half. All right, so got some more bundles. I didn't quite get all of them in some of these groups, but got a good amount. I mean, we have a good amount anyway. So we'll go get these planted. Maybe I'll share some with my herbal remedies group tonight if they want any to plant. And of course, right here next to us is another mullein plant. So I'm going to go ahead and pluck some of the leaves off of this to share with them as well. And I just keep finding stuff. Obviously, this was from a whole clove of garlic. We have a bunch of garlic here. Because they're so close together, these aren't going to be big bulbs, but they will be some good, some good medium-sized bulbs that we can then take and plant. So these I am definitely going to put a cage around, and come fall time we can pull these out and harvest them. Or no, not fall time. We harvest in June. That's right. We harvest in June and then we plant in the fall. So I will put a cage up to protect these and the other two bulbs that I found, and protect them from my husband's lawnmower. So I'm gonna go get those, put those around these. Then we'll get the chives planted, shallots, and then I'm gonna go around and collect some more herbs. Now I'm just on my way up to get one of the tomato cages, and I was looking at my rhubarb plant planted here, and this is what was happening to most of my plants last year, is this rhubarb rust. So, oh, we see some ants here. Have found a place to have a treat or something. So I'm gonna just see if I can save this by taking off the leaves that have the rust on them and remove them from the area, and maybe we'll save this plant from a couple years of non-production. Starting to get the flower stalks forming here. You can see that. There we go. So I'm going to pluck those off as well. Yeah, all of these seem to be affected. Need to see if maybe there's some nutrients in the soil that's missing that's causing this. It doesn't seem to be affecting my other plants this year, so it is possible for them to overcome it. And maybe it's just a water situation. Maybe it needs more water. Yeah, it's just having to take off all of these bigger leaves here. I'll take that one too. And I don't know, the rest I think I'll leave and just kind of keep an eye on it. See if we can get it nursed back to health. Okay, on to the tomato cages. Let's see, I have some right over here. How many do I need? 3? I think so. All right. So there's a fun story about this rhubarb. And is that catnip growing there? Okay, I'll have to harvest that. I need to take some of that tonight too. This rhubarb plant, I don't know what's with the place where it's planted, but most of my rhubarb died back in like October, November when the freeze came. Not this one. This plant lasted until February when we finally had temps in the single digit. Oh, look, the flower stalk that needs to come off. And it was still green and growing. I mean, it had died back some, I think, but it just kept growing and it was so green. And finally died back when we got to like 6 degrees temps. And I'm just trying to figure, is it the type of rhubarb it is? Or if perhaps it's planted over piping that goes out to our drainage field. Maybe the ground was warmer here or something. I don't know. But it lived all winter long until February, and then it just sprang back up too. So this is a miracle rhubarb plant. All right, that should keep the garlic safe from the mowing machine. Well, I'm going to clear out this space here to plant the chives. These dandelions I'll actually dig up. I'm going to take some dandelions to the herbal remedy class tonight that I'm in. So that'll get those out of the way. And then these are fairly easy to clean out, so I'll just drag those out of the way as well. So I'm going to get to work. Well, I've got all those shallots planted. Now, if I had taken each individual shallot and planted it, it would grow nice and large and then eventually set off babies. I've kept them in small clumps for now, mainly because I wasn't prepared for finding these, so I don't really have a place to put it, and I didn't really want to take the time to do it right now either. But the great thing is, when I do have a place and the time, I can just grab a bundle as they've been growing here and separate them out and plant them that way. But in this way, they're still usable too. I have a whole bunch of greens from those. I tried pulling some bunches up that all the tops came off and left the bundles in the ground, or the shallots in the ground. So that's over where I pulled them out from. So guess what? I'm gonna be having some more come up in that area too. But isn't that great? That's how a garden should be. You should just be able to have food growing everywhere and just be able to go out and pick some, right? So I'm glad to have these over here. I was able to clear out a spot in my food forest area, and it's becoming more food forest-ish. And I have these that we can chop up and use in a salad or in a some other dish, a soup or something. So I'll go put those in the kitchen. And in the process, I was actually able to also forage for my herbal remedies class tonight. So that's exciting too, because I needed to get that done. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone there. I am gonna go put these dandelions inside in a bag or a basket where I can take them tonight to my class. Go take care of these. And then I need to go out and find even more herbs to take tonight. I'm gonna take some catmint. I do have some stinging nettles somewhere on the property, so I'll probably grab some of those as well. I have goldenrod, more mullein, more plantain. Some comfrey as well. So I've got a lot to gather for tonight, so I'm gonna go do that. We'll see you next time here at Quarter Mile Farm. Bye.